Hello and welcome to Global AI Notes. Hi, I hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. So I am hosting for the first time. So for everyone that doesn't know me, my name is Tori Tompkins. I am an AI MVP and an AI consultant. But more importantly, I am here joined with Farzad Sunavala. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, thank you. You're joining from London, am I right?
Yeah, for today I am.
Yep. Lovely. Are you all right to introduce yourself to everyone?
Sure. Hey, everybody. I'm Farzad Sunavala. I am a product manager at Microsoft working on my favorite product, Azure AI Search.
Lovely, lovely. So it's been a big year for AI Search, right? Am I right thinking it was renamed AI Search just last November, Ignite?
Yeah, that's right. We were formerly known as Azure Cognitive Search, renamed to Azure AI Search with a whole lot of other Azure AI rebranding.
So since it's been such a big year, are you all right to take us through your favorite milestones?
Yeah. So, at a very high level, year 2023, what we've seen from our customers from the global AI community, 2023 last year was really just about learning about kind of Gen AI. What is RAG? How to quickly, build prototypes? What are the technologies out there? What's really a large language model? How does it operate? Things like that. And in Azure AI Search, we took advantage of kind of repurposing our product to really be the best possible retrieval system for generative AI scenarios. And to be a good retrieval system, you need to support a concept called vector embeddings. Long story short, I think everyone by now knows what vector embeddings are, but essentially a universal representation of data that's really, really cool. You could do a lot of cool things with like semantic search, recommendations, and so on. But in the context of kind of working with large language models, in the very popular one, Azure OpenAI or OpenAI embedding models, when customers generate vector embeddings, they need a place to store them. And so Azure AI Search, historically known as a kind of search as a service, very kind of fixated on keyword search, we actually launched in public preview last July 2023, public preview of vector search capabilities. And so it was probably our most popular feature that we added. Due to high customer demand, that feature went generally available in November of 2023. And now moving forward in 2024, we've launched a bunch of cool stuff to really make sure that customers are having the tools and bells and whistles they need to really build the best generative AI applications. So I would say just it's not a single feature, it's just a whole bunch of different milestones of things we've done, from the general availability of vector search, and really all these different things from a cost perspective, storage optimization, of course, a quality perspective, all these different things that we've launched within the past 2024 thus far. So everything.
Yeah, you mentioned that sort of all these new features have come from sort of AI search as sort of the tool to use if you're doing RAG in Azure. Has there been any new features for non-RAG applications of AI search?
Yeah. So again, their AI search, we have a bunch of different customers using us. Probably the hero use case we see from the majority are RAG, but there's a lot of customers using us for other scenarios, such as enterprise search applications where you just need to find the right document, knowledge mining to sometimes surface things very quickly for enterprises, and then of course, kind of the most common one when it comes to search, which is e-commerce search. So finding a right product or service online and having really robust search capabilities to make sure you're getting the best relevance at the top, but also very high performing in terms of concurrency and performance and latency. So at a high level, Azure AI Search, we're focused on kind of a bunch of different pillars. And so one's kind of the document ingestion front. And so a lot of times when you want to search over data, It could be unstructured. Usually it's quite dirty, plain PDF, maybe a bunch of embedded tables, figures. So one of our strong suits is integrating with our sister teams over in Azure Cognitive Services, or now called Azure AI Services. So you can easily leverage through our indexer pipeline a lot of these AI enrichment skills, such as the Azure AI Vision embedding model. So if you want to vectorize images and also vectorize text, or maybe you're a catalog search and you have images of certain products and then captions, but you want a semantic search experience over that, you could easily enable multimodal search by taking advantage of the AI vision embeddings that are based upon the Florence language model, vision language model. So that's just one example of things we've done in regards to shipping new features, kind of going across document ingestion. Then, of course, on the query side, I know we'll talk a lot about the new features we've shipped on the query and retrieval and search accuracy side. But yeah, lots of different things going on.
Awesome. Cool. So did you want to start, I guess, with what was your favorite announcement of 2024?
Yeah. This is definitely a hard one, but I prepared for this, and it's a very cool and flashy thing. And I think going into year 2025, a lot of people are talking about autonomous agents, multi-turn agent systems, orchestration, and when it comes to asking the average person what it comes to their mind when they think of AI, a very important component of that is kind of real time. And so, just like when you're interacting with Siri or some of your voice assistants out there, you get intelligence just by talking to a system. And so, imagine having a system that understands your data, your personal private data, or your enterprise or organizational data, in addition to maybe the World Wide Web or something like that, or the pre-trained data set of a large language model like OpenAI's GPT-4o. And imagine talking to that in real time and getting a generative response back. Personally, I've actually built several applications that use, I'll just quickly share my screen here and show a blog post that our product group launched. I believe it was actually last week. And so this was a accelerator called VoiceRag, which was very, very, very cool, where customers can leverage the new real-time API from Azure OpenAI, and they could actually, upload certain documents or an existing search index and talk to it just naturally. And so it's the same thing we kind of saw with RAG applications, retrieval augmented generation applications, where you have to, type something and use text. But like when it comes to productivity and business value, just easily just hitting a button and just talking like you're talking to a friend or a coworker or a colleague, or in this case, a real voice assistant, is so powerful. And it's also just really freaking cool, just the value that it adds. And so we did a lot of great work with our sister team in Azure OpenAI, putting together a very lightweight, actually, architecture on how to actually build a voice RAG application that takes all those bells and whistles that I talked about, in terms of vector retrieval and things like that, in Azure AI Search, and using it with Azure OpenAI's real-time API. So this was just launched, I think, a couple of weeks ago. Highly recommend everyone checking it out. I'm already going crazy building really weird, sometimes voice assistants, but it's really fun to play with.
Yeah, this is really cool. I was very excited when this blog first came out. I remember one of us, we were passing it around. So yeah, thanks for sharing. So you mentioned as well that there was a lot of announcements from querying and retrieval. Did you want to talk us through some of those?
Yeah, and I think the best way to do this, you'll actually see I have a bunch of tabs open here. So we're kind of going to take a look back into kind of year 2024, of all the different things that Azure AI Search has done. And it should probably be recapped a lot better in kind of a single slide, but I'm just going to go through the blogs, because at the end of the day, I'm repointing everyone, and I think everyone should just be going to the blogs. You have a single source of truth of the feature with all the links to docs and repos and things like that. So yeah, at a very high level, announced the general availability of vector search and semantic ranker, formerly known as semantic search, which is our probably our most popular feature. I feel like I said that for vector search, but I'd have to say it's a two-way tie. Which our semantic ranker is our built-in re-ranker model, which really allows you to make sure you get the best possible results when you're doing RAG or e-commerce search, whatever your use case may be, to make sure that whatever retrieval mode you're using, whether it's vector search or keyword search or hybrid search, which we'll talk about in a bit, you can leverage very sophisticated cross-encoder models that we've tuned for a lot of our use cases based upon our knowledge of our existing customers with a focus on kind of enterprise. And so this re-ranker model allows you to really get the best results at the top. And I'll also share that at Ignite coming up, and I'll talk about that in a bit, we're made some major improvements to this, but I'll keep that for a little bit later. Additionally, I'm just going to quickly kind of rapid fire through some of these because I could talk for a whole hour on each of these. We also partnered with another sister team, Azure Logic Apps, for very simple kind of drag and drop document processing and indexing using a feature that we announced last year and most recently this past summer in general availability, which is integrated vectorization, which a lot of customers love just for its ease of use. You have a bunch of data, you dump it somewhere, Fabric, blob storage, SQL, whatever. You click a button in AI search, copy and paste your embedding model from Azure OpenAI or Cohere hosted on AI Studio, Model Catalog, whatever it might be. And literally at the click of a button, you get a very good vector representation, a very good search index that you could start using for whatever use case you may want. So all this process, it's another way of doing it. There's a good tutorial here on how to do this in Logic Apps. Highly recommend checking it out. Another one that I'll talk about is binary quantization. So one of the biggest feedback we got from a lot of customers is how Azure AI Search, we could be more economical as kind of a retrieval system. And so as customers were going into production, they were adding a lot of vector embeddings, sometimes associated text, the raw data text as well, or the parsed document text. And their vector index sizes or search service sizes were ballooning quite fast. And so, of course, with that comes cost. So are there techniques that we could expose and be crafty with how we can help customers overall get the outcome of lowered cost? And so that's exactly what we did with a few features, which I would say another one of my favorite ones, binary quantization in Azure AI Search, where essentially we'll actually handle the quantization for you, where you send us your vector embeddings, we'll quantize it to as it's called, to bits, and we'll perform the vector search with the quantized vectors. But you also have the option to retain the full precision vectors. So if you want to do oversampling or re-ranking to make sure that you're not getting too much precision loss by the compression, you could take advantage of that too. And the coolest part about it is it's completely free in Azure AI Search. You can do it if you want. If you're okay with your full precision vectors, go for it as well. Very similar to what I just said. Cohere launched binary embeddings in Azure AI Search over the summer. We partnered, I believe, with Cohere to have their models actually available on Azure AI Studio. So highly recommend if anyone hasn't checking out Azure AI Studio Model Catalog. There's a lot of cool models and they're just constantly adding new things. So very, very cool and good job to that team. And so as a consumer of things hosted on that AI Studio model catalog, one of the embedding model providers, Cohere, I thought they did a great job launching int8 and binary embeddings. And so in Azure AI Search, we launched support for narrow vector types. So if you want to save some on cost on vector storage, you can take advantage of using the embedding model native primitive type output, in this case binary. And there's a lot of benefits that come with it. And you'll actually be surprised how performant it is relative to full precision vectors. Another one that I'll talk about, I briefly talked on this earlier in terms of the semantic ranker capabilities. We launched this blog last year, which showcases why hybrid search really proves overall better results across a large range of query archetypes. whether it's a RAG query or a non-RAG query. We have some tables here that actually show the difference of using hybrid search with our semantic ranker, which shows results here using a very common industry metric, NDCG, over not just open source data sets, which sometimes a lot of people challenge those in the industry, saying those are a little bit too easy. Sometimes people fine tune for those data sets, but we actually partnered with real Azure AI Search customers across a variety of different domains, and ran these evaluations against real queries business users are doing, just to make sure that everything we ship, it's not just meeting a certain industry benchmark, it's actually adding customer value at the end of the day. So this was our kind of semantic ranker and hybrid search story sneak peek. We're launching probably the biggest update in the past year on Azure AI Search at Ignite with the semantic ranker. You're getting a lot more powerful semantic ranker. Let's just say that performs a lot better than what it did a year ago. And also you're getting a little bit of generative AI elements mixed into your retrieval pipeline. So I'll leave it at that and let everyone kind of stay tuned into Ignite to see what else is coming next.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So tons of blogs here. In terms of where should people be looking to keep up with these new announcements with AI Search? Would it be the Azure AI Services blog?
Yeah, great question. So I'll go at most of the blogs at the bottom. You'll see a getting started with Azure AI Search over here. If you want to keep up with the latest and greatest news, this is your source of truth. We rapidly update this documentation, as you can see here, almost on a monthly cadence, anytime we ship new features. So I would go here, learn.microsoft.com/Azure/search/what's new, or our general documentation page, click into new in search, and you'll see everything we just launched this past month, along with some new API versions for different features. So highly recommend checking this out. Again, you can always follow myself on socials. I'm quite active evangelizing everything on LinkedIn or GitHub. Also have a personal blog. Thanks. I think last time a lot of people asked to learn more on how to kind of integrate these things and go really, really deep and integrate with other products. So highly recommend. You can check me out at farzi.hashnode.dev. Pretty much showcasing a lot of things that I hear from customers in terms of there's ambiguity on how to do this. There's a really cool technology. Can you show me how to do this with Azure AI Search? So everything I talk about is Azure AI Search and kind of Gen AI related. But yeah, I hope that helps get everyone started.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I think that might be all we have today. I will double check to see if there's any comments. If anyone's got any comments, please leave them. I think we're on LinkedIn and YouTube. But other than that, I will probably let you go, Farzad.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tori. This was fun.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Cheers. Take care. Bye.